Hey, 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 welcome into the Curious Cat Show. I'm your host, Lucky Cat. And this is, of course, Lucky Cat Wisdom. And I just thank you for joining me today. This is just kind of my life and what's going on. So recently, I have been listening to music as a way to help me grow spiritually and find my way. And music is helping to guide and support my journey. So, what kind of music do you listen to that helps guide and support you in your spiritual journey? So, every morning I am spending some time listening to uplifting affirmation music to help me align with my future. And I found some pretty good stuff on YouTube, affirmation with music. So, I think that's really key. The music that I'm listening to is helping to soothe my soul and sand off the rough edges of my thinking, and that's huge to soothe the soul and sometimes just sand off some of those rough edges around our thinking and our feelings and things that are kind of slowing us down. A rough edge is if you were like a boat trying to go through the water and you had a lot of rough edges. It'd be important to and take the time to sand those off, or that helps to reduce the resistance when we're working on manifestations and that type of thing. We talk a lot about reducing the resistance in our life, and so one of the things that's super important that we work on is smoothing off the edges, and music is a way to do that. Another thing Spirit's been just saying to me recently is learn how to be in the observer mode. That is, observing what is going on and just kind of watching. Sometimes we have a tendency to have knee jerk reactions to everything. We want to jump in and fix everything. We want to do this and do that. But what if you were to just get into observer mode a little bit more and observe the things that are going on around you? And then you just released whatever it is your desires or intentions were to the spirit, because the spirit already knows everything and it's going to work everything out for you. Now, the other day I was on my way from the RV over to the shed to get my bike. I wanted to take a bike ride. It's not that far from the RV to the shed where the bike is, but about halfway there, I looked down at my keys and I realized that I did not have the right key on that key ring to open up the lock that opens the shed for me to be able to get into the shed and be able to get my bike. And it became very clear to me as Spirit, spoke to me how that happens. It's kind of like you need a specific key to open this specific lock that releases the door to the treasure that you want. And we can have a lot of keys on our key ring. We can have hundreds of keys in our house. I don't know how many we have, but I bet we have a lot of keys, and so do you. But it doesn't matter how many keys you have, it's just that you have to have the right key that goes into the right lock that opens the right door to the right treasure that you're seeking. So, this was kind of the lesson that the Spirit was giving me the other day. Number one, again, to release and to let go of outcomes. Because this is something that's really been tripping me up lately. I've been getting really frustrated about outcomes because things aren't happening the way that I want them to happen or the way I think they should happen. People aren't responding to me the way I want them to respond. And so I found myself getting really hung up on outcomes. And so part of this whole teaching on getting the right key to the lock, part of that is release outcomes. The second thing is to focus your energy on what you're bringing. So, what is the energy that you're bringing to the situation? Because energy is actually the key that's going to unlock that lock and open up that door to the treasures that you want. So, energy is the key that you're looking for, right? That was the key that I've been needing is energy. So the key to everything that you want is the energy that you're abiding in right now. What is that state of being? Now, one thing I'll say about that is our energy levels and state of being fluctuate from day to day, and sometimes hour to hour and moment to moment, maybe minute to minute, depending on what is going on in our life. So you do have to understand that that is a flexible state that changes, often throughout the day. But the key there is to try to always get closer to what you want to bring, and the energy that you need. So the key is not in what I want to believe, but in what I actually believe. And sometimes we think we want something, or we want to believe something. We all want to believe, but it's really, that doesn't matter. It's what do you actually believe, and what state are you occupying, what energy are you occupying around that belief. And then another key as part of this energy key is to release any negative energies that are still trying to hold you back. So those past based emotions and the old energies of the old you that you're really wanting to move past. So it's important to let them go and focus on good energy. And again, going back, just circling kind of back to the beginning of this little Lucky Cat wisdom, that's why for me right now, music is very important, because the music I'm listening to is helping me to keep those energy levels higher than they otherwise would be. They're kind of down here, bouncing around. And then I start to listen to music, and it starts to bring that energy up, 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 more in line with where it is that I want to be, and so that I'm not, maybe I'm fluctuating a little bit, but the music is helping to keep me up in the energy that I want to be. And that energy then becomes the key that I'm looking for to unlock the lock on the door of the shed that's holding all of my treasures. So as I was walking back to the RV to find the right key, I definitely heard the Spirit speaking that to me. So how does Spirit speak to you? Sometimes in a very simple lesson just like that, as you're going about your daily business. I wasn't thinking about anything but going into the shed and getting my bike out so I could ride. But when I realized I didn't have the right key and I needed to turn around and get a different key to open the lock, that's when that aha moment came, when the Spirit's like, see, here's a lesson. Here's a lesson from your everyday life, that you need the right key to open the lock that you're trying to open. Because there is a lock on a shed door of a treasure that I want to open. There's something I want to have happen. There is an outcome. There is something I really want, but I haven't been able to achieve it or receive it. Even though I feel like I truly believe it, it was like, hey, bring the energy. So I was in this certain situation where I was up against where that lock to that door to the treasure was at. And I decided before I went there and I was around the people that I want to be around in order to access the treasure and the things that I want, those outcomes, that I would just bring the Lucky Cat energy. I would just bring Curious Cat Show energy into this moment, and not worry about the outcomes, like not expect it to change just immediately, but believe that it was going to change because I was bringing the right energy. And I have to say, it really made a big difference, because before I was starting to contract about what was going on, and I was starting to get into some negative energies around it. But when I brought the energy, the Lucky Cat energy, the energy that I felt was the right energy, it was like it went into the lock and it started to turn it. I can't say that lock's completely off and that the door's wide open and I'm getting and doing all the things that I visualized doing, but I know that was the right answer for that day. And had I not gotten that revelation, had I not received that word from the Spirit, I might have entered into that situation in the wrong state of energy, which could have just meant things are going to remain closed there. There's no open door. the outcomes and the things that you're desiring aren't going to happen because you don't have the right key. You're bringing the wrong energy. And people absolutely pick up on our energy. And again, I just want to emphasize that we don't always have that high level of energy. Some days you don't feel good, or something happened at work, or you almost had an accident at work, or somebody said something nasty to you and it brought your energy down. We all have to account for that, but we also have to believe that it still is an energy game. So try to get your energy up a little bit higher so that when you have one of those bumps, you don't come down so far. Because if you're operating down here, say, and you have a bump in the road or something happens, then you just go lower. But try to keep working on bringing up that energy. Keep it up there. And like I said, music is really helping me. So find what helps you. Going for that bike ride really helped me. I did a bike ride today. It's helping to bring my energy, levels back up, because I'm understanding that energy is the key that's going to open the lock on the shed door to my treasures. Well, that's it, and that's all for the Curious Cat Show and for Lucky Cat Wisdom. If you got some value out of this, or just appreciate the fact that I'm here trying to do something positive in the world, please like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I am trying to get much better at hitting that like button, and not just ignoring it and go, wow, that was really good, and then move on to the next one and consume the next one, but to stop and say, no, I need to hit like. I need to let this person know that I appreciated their time. I appreciated what they had to say. And that's what it's about. When you like and you subscribe, it's just like giving encouragement and that type of thing. That's not the only reason I'm doing it, and I'm not begging for it, but I'm realizing that if I ask people to like and subscribe, what am I doing to a lot of other content creators? Am I liking and subscribing? And so I'm doing more of that. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything, so I hope you'll consider that. Thanks again. This has been Lucky Cat Wisdom on the Curious Cat Show. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.